Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video we're going to go through the Forex market wrap. We're going to see what charts are moving and what could we see coming into next week. Well, not a lot has happened really this week. The dollar has lost some value. It broke through these key structural lows just over to our left hand side, broke through that sort of 96.30-40 level. Pushed to the downside, but is now retesting this $96 level and seems to be holding there at the moment. If price can break through these structural lows just through here, then it's going to be good for looking for further shorts, but we've got to take these lows out first. That's a really big circle, sorry. We've got to take these lows out just through here first. If we can do that, then I expect the dollar to continue to break to the downside, but ultimately, the price still remains range bound on the US dollar, and that's why we haven't really seen much movement elsewhere. The only currency that's really benefited this week is the euro. So if we go down to euro US dollar, euro really benefiting on the back of the dollar weakness, and we can see that across multiple pairs. The only thing now is that price is approaching this key area of resistance. So are we going to see another move to the downside like we did here? Potentially. So we just need to see, sit and wait out and see what happens here. Are we going to get a breakout, or are we going to get a bounce from these key structure highs just through there? So this is a really important area of resistance. If I just go up into that weekly time frame, you can see that price is at those approaching these weekly swing highs just through here. So really seeing what can happen here on euro, see if we can break to the upside or break lower before we make any kind of trading decisions in there. Pound, again, very shallow week in terms of it hasn't really moved all that much. You can see just inside bearish candle forming at the moment. No real impulse coming here. So yeah, nothing really to report on pound. Obviously we was expecting that strength to continue going into this week, and we saw a nice reversal candle set up on Tuesday, and then I was expecting that to follow through on Wednesday. Didn't quite follow through. We've seen a bit of a bearish day, and today's is a little bit on the bearish side, as the dollar kind of finds a little bit of support at those key swing lows. Aussie very much range bound as well. A lot of the majors in ranges. We really need to start seeing some momentum somewhere. But Aussie very much retesting the sort of the top of this range, and is pretty much looking like it might head back towards the lows coming into sort of next week. So once again, just waiting to see if we can get a breakout and some direction from these markets, because at the moment it's been very tricky. Lots of back and forth going on, lots of ranges being formed across the charts, and that's not the best environment to be looking for these opportunities. I did get a question yesterday saying how could you trade the ranges? Well, essentially all you'll be looking to do is short from the top and buy from the bottom, and what I'd be doing is kind of following a similar path to a normal trend environment, where I would look for the market to change cycle at the top of the range on the 4-hour time frame, for instance, and then look to buy or sell the market. So if I just bring this range into view here on Aussie US dollar, what I'd be looking to do ultimately is trade the sort of breakouts of things, or wait for the change in cycle and then look to trade. But it's very difficult to do, which is why I suggest you kind of stay away from that. But if the market was to start forming new lows just through there, 1 second, let me just delete that and try that again. So if the market was to start forming, let me just drop this down a little bit, was to start forming new lows, then I'd suggest maybe looking for a retest and a move to the downside. Like here we had this really nice double bottom, breakout, retest, market rallies to the upside. Don't quite get it here. We get a breakout, a retest, but it doesn't quite reach the top of the range. Again, this is why you've got to be very careful with making those range trading opportunities. From my experience, if you are a new trader, then I would really suggest staying away from these range trading environments and looking and focusing on the trends. Okay, there has been some good moves this week. Euro Swiss was probably the best moving market. Apologies if you hear a bit of construction noise in the background. There's something right opposite me going on, but essentially Euro Swissy was the trending chart of the week, and if you look at the daily time frame, we've got those really nice bullish candlesticks coming into this week. So what I really wanted to do was trade that 4-hour trend going up, and we can see the market's making those nice higher highs and higher lows, so we're expecting maybe that to continue going into next week as well, if we start seeing that daily momentum start pushing back to the upside. So keep an eye on the euro. Euro's looking quite bullish, but other than that, there's not really much to report on. We'll go take a quick look at gold. Gold didn't quite pull back to our area of interest once again. I was looking for the market to really come and retest these structure highs down in here, and just didn't quite make it there, unfortunately, and price looks to be pushing back to the upside. But got a feeling that we could see some further upside to this market if we do start creating those highs. But again, you can see just forming a little bit of a consolidation range once again on gold. If it goes that 4-hour, we'll see it in a little bit more detail just through here. So you know, it's just a very tricky market environment that we've seen this week. Nothing really forming those trends apart from a couple of euro breakouts. Okay, so just be aware that these markets are just consolidating. Be really patient. Wait for those breakouts before looking for any kind of continuation moves. Thanks for watching this week. If you've enjoyed the content this week, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next week. Cheers.